That's right. Free 89 S10 regular cab, short box, square body, first gen S10. Did I get it all in there? I think I got it all in there. Not clickbait. Stick around, check it out. Alright guys, so backstory. We like stories, don't we? Well, I don't have to make 2 trips because I gotta film this with you guys. The things I do for you. So, after the car show yesterday, this video might not come out for a week or 2 to get edited and whatnot, but yesterday was a car show and we left and went to the American Vets, the M Vets, to cool off and have a cocktail. And while I was in there talking to a gentleman, the bartender, he said, "Oh, you guys are all in the cars? You're at a car show?" "Yeah." "You know, man, anybody would be interested in an S10, would you?" Nobody said nothing. I'm kind of giggling and thinking, well, I got there late, so they were there first talking to this guy. And nobody said nothing, so he walked away, and when he came back, I said, "Hey, tell me about this S10. And he says, "It's my grandfather's. And I got it from him when he passed away." I think he said he passed away. He goes, "I got it from my grandfather." We'll just say that. And guy's 42 years old, and he got it from his grandfather. His grandfather bought it when he was 13 years old. The kid was 13. And he's either passed away or can't drive anymore. Handed it off to him a year or 2 ago. He drove it home. It needed some updating and maintenance, as just an old grandpa's truck does. Got into realizing the distributor was really corroded and crusty, and took it apart, and there it sat for the last 8 months. He said it was 8 months ago he drove it. And he wanted it reliable, and he thought maybe one of his kids would want it. Kid just turned 18. Neither one of his kids wanted anything to do with it. He lost interest in working on it, sitting in his driveway. And I said, "Well, you know, what is it?" And he said, "Well, it's an 89. And I said, "Oh, square body." He said, "Yep." And I said, "Is it an extended cab or regular cab?" And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "You know, it's at the regular cab, or does it have the extra window behind the doors?" He goes, "Oh, no, it's a regular cab." "Okay." I said, "Long box or short box, do you know?" He goes, "Short box. I know it's the shorter of the 2. "Okay." So, "What kind of shape's it in?" "There's no rust." I said, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, there's no rust on it. Actually, the body's in really good shape." He said, "It needs paint job." I said, "Okay. Florida, that's typical." And he said, "The interior's good. Grandpa put carpet in it before I got it. So the carpet's 2 years old, and then it's been sitting. And the door panels are good." And he said, "The dash ain't all cracked up, and he even has a cover on it." And he said, "Grandpa put a seat cover on the bench seat, and I don't know what the shape the seat's in." "Okay." And then he said, "But it don't run and drive right now." Told me the story. He said, "I've just been kind of going through it, and it's got a parasitic draw. If you let it sit for a week, it kills the battery. But I got the distributor apart, and I got a new distributor for it. But it'll run and drive." He goes, "You put a distributor in." He goes, it ran and drove with the old distributor, but when I took the cap off to put a new cap on, because I was doing a tune-up, it was so rusty and crusty under there, I can't believe it was still running. So I decided to put a distributor in. And I stopped, and that's where it sits." "Okay. So what do you got to have for that?" And he said, "Come and get it." I said, "What?" He said, "I just need it out of my driveway. Neither the kids want it. I've had 2 guys that I talked to said they'd give me $500 for it, and neither one ever showed up to even look at it. I need it out of my driveway." He goes, "It's literally a block away if you want to go look at it." So I drove over there and I took a look at it, and I tell you what, it's the first time in my life somebody told me about a vehicle they were trying to get rid of. and I was surprised that it was actually better than what he told me. Only rust on the whole thing, and he mentioned this, a little bubble on the cab corner behind the door. Other than that, this thing is, I don't even think there was a door ding in it. So told him I'd come today. Today's the next day. We had a big car show today. Checked it out on my second channel, MadRatt Garage2. We have car shows and different stuff we do on there. I put those videos over there. But we take Nomad. We took Nomad. Great. 2 shows. One yesterday, one today. Good stuff. Check it out. But old big red one hasn't moved in probably as many months as that S10. I was going to put a fuel sending unit in it, so I ran it out of gas so that I could drop the tank. And she's just been sitting, unfortunately. I haven't had a use for it. If any of you are new to the channel, big red one is my 1989 Chevy C3500 ramp truck, or wedge truck, however you want to call it. I bought this a few years ago so I wouldn't have to have a trailer and a truck and try to find a place to hide all that and park all that. Figured this would be better, and I think it's cooler. I like it, but unfortunately she's being neglected, just sitting around, and I don't like that. Did a bunch of work to it after I bought it. Had some issues, got it all worked out. She really runs and drives good. She's horrible on fuel, but she's been sitting here since late fall, I guess, so probably 6 months since I moved it here. Not quite. But we're gonna go grab the S10 today. I'm gonna take you with and show it to you, and get her loaded on old big red one, and then it's probably gonna stay on big red one for a while until I get around to it. I'm gonna get the distributor in, probably get it cleaned up. There's moss growing on this S10, and but before we do that, I got the battery charged, so I'm gonna put the battery in right now. That's a little 2-galloner. I got 2 of them, so I'm gonna put those in, and we will head on over to the next town over. It's about 20 miles from here, and go pick up the newest project. See how this works? You start a project and then another project shows up and you get sidetracked. And I'm gonna try not to get sidetracked, but square body S10, man, in really reasonable shape. We're gonna get the 4.3 running first. He said his grandpa put a replacement in at one time. He don't know if it was used or new, but he put a different motor in it at one time. So it's got 211,000 miles on the truck, but the motor's got less. Truck don't look like it's got 211,000, and it's an air conditioning truck. I looked under the hood and everything's there. I don't know if it works, but everything's there. So, all right, let me get this dealt with. That should probably be enough. We'll get the battery next. Old man is out of breath. Good Lord, not even that old yet, technically. But I feel it. Hey, she ain't bad. She's not a bad rig. Just make sure you remove before flight. There. You can see where somebody hit it too hard there. Gotta be gentle and always hit them at the crown. Big block. Oh, I gotta clean my valve covers up. They got corroded from just sitting around. You know what I like about this year truck? They gave you a work light. I don't know if it works. Look at that! It works. I gotta polish that plastic a little bit, but middle of the night, got a little reel to reel it in there, and you got a little work light. I don't know why they haven't Done more of that. Okay. We should be ready to fire up. She got the gas. She's a rowdy sounding. I just wish we had a tack. It's the only thing I ain't got no tack. Boy, look what the sun did to my damn visors. I had to buff those out or get new ones. Listen to her, she's rowdy. I'm gonna pull her up and I'm gonna check the air pressure in all my tires and all that stuff, because you don't need to be hauling something and not have good air pressure. Oh, that tire looks good, but I gotta stick it. See, that one looks low. All right, and we're dualies, so gotta check the ones on the inside too. A little rust right there. That's soaked down in there. Sucks, I just found out about all this yesterday and hadn't had a chance to really prep. I guess this is forcing me to get all big red back on the road. It's one thing I don't like about these. They're welded in. I guess I'd have to cut them out and weld in new ones if I wanted to replace them. I'd like to replace them with I like to replace them with straps instead of the chains. Let's see if this one loosened up at all. I'd put in a wireless for that. So it's powering up. I don't know how much juice we got, but I got my blocks and my blanket to lay on if I got to get on the ground. Let me grab this other fuel just in case I run out. Got a little rust in these boxes, but not bad. All LED lighting in there. These tires can run 80. I don't. I run 60.
Much later.
Well, this has been fun. I had 3 tires that, one was almost completely flat, 2 that were completely low. Charged the battery that was in here. Said I had a full charge. And I get to the gas station, wait in line, shut it off, and I have to jump start it to get it going. But when I put my jump box on it, it said I had 12.7 volts. So I went and washed it. And I had to jump it again. Notice my wipers were completely tore up. I had to go to Advance, get wipers. Left it running. Went to Walmart, got one of their batteries. Noticed that my connection on the battery cable wasn't the greatest, but that battery that was in here is one of their value batteries, and it was 3 years old, and this tends to be the lifespan of them things. So I thought, well, maybe it's just a bad battery, even though it's holding the charger, it's got no guts. Buy the exact same thing, brand new battery, and point is a core exchange. Come out and the thing barely started. So I don't know what's going on. I made sure the connections were tight. I'm gonna have to clean them again. I tell you, I'm just starting to wonder if I've got a little, if the timing's wrong, because it starts like heart starts like it's timing. But I swear when I did all the other work on this, I set the timing, so we'll just have to see. That's where we're at. Headed to the guy now. I'm 20 miles away. And I'll kick you back on when we get there. All right, here's your first look at it. Doesn't look like he's had a chance to move his trailer or nothing. We'll see. On the left, there's a pickup next to it, a Jeep. There's our little freebie.
Think we can move it without a key, or do you?
Does the steering unlock? You said it pretty much don't need a key to do anything?
Yeah, I mean the key.
Because otherwise the steering isn't going to move, you know. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder where else would the key be, possibly? In the glove box or anything?
Yeah, I thought maybe I'd left it in here last time I drove it. My girlfriend's inside tearing the house apart looking for it.
Is she?
Yeah, it was on a little like plastic. I mean, I hate to say it's your problem now. But yeah.
That's completely fine.
You might find something in there like, oh shit, I can use that.
You never know.
Yeah,
I don't see it down in there.
Stick it in there.
Huh. I think it's on the left side. Grandpa didn't leave a hide a key anywhere.
Which I'm surprised about. Oh, I guess there's a wasp nest in there somewhere.
There's a wasp nest in the gas tank fill door.
Oh,
I popped that open just to see if it was rusty in there, because they get rusty in there. And I'm like, oh, an old, no, that ain't an old one. There's 3 of them in there.
Let me run inside real quick.
Yeah, yeah. Otherwise, I'll have to figure out how to get that steering to pop. So, no biggie. It's been sitting here for a while, and he thought he knew where the keys were, so he's searching for keys. Who am I to complain about things that happen when it's a free? I'm just looking under seats, seeing if he thought he left it in here. Maybe somebody snaggled it. Otherwise, we'll have to figure out how to pop that ignition. But, I mean, the door panels are pretty good for the interior. I know how to repaint those, and the dash pieces, and I mean, the dash is in, from what I can tell, is in really good shape. No headliner, he mentioned that. No biggie. Free 30. Free 99. It's the Freemeister. Looks like it was red once. I've seen a bunch of red showing up. If it runs and drives, he said that it's 50-50 chance the air worked. He doesn't remember it not working, but he wasn't, you know, he drove it home here, whatever it was, a year or two ago, and from northern Florida. He goes, I don't remember driving with the windows down, so I must have had the air on. But we will see. Any luck?
I just pissed now.
It's always something though, you know. I mean, you found the title and the distributor.
Yeah, this stuff was.
Yeah,
that's the.
That was good. Dragonfire. Okay. Yeah, we'll check it out.
And, I mean, like I said, it's brand
yeah.
spanking new.
Yeah. Right on. Yeah, if that's for this, then we'll get that swapped out, and that should get her fired up, right? Did you do new plugs and plug wires and stuff? Is that what you'd already done, or you were planning on doing?
The plug wires aren't new. I know that.
Okay.
I put plugs in or not?
No biggie. I don't know if you had done that, and then when you got to the cap, you're like, oh crap, or if you just started here and went the other direction. So.
Yeah, I think I started here.
Okay.
Like I said, the ignition coil, thermostat and housing I changed, starter. A couple of the little sensors I changed out.
Alternator? Or did...
Alternator's good. As far
Yeah, it
as
looks
I know.
brand new.
I took it, had it tested in when I was trying to figure out what was going on electrically.
Pulling that draw.
And,
yeah, because it looked brand new. So
they were like, "Yeah, you're fine with the alternator."
Yeah.
So I've kind of got it down to where I think it's the radio. I haven't gone through the fuse panel to like test it while it's off to see, but
sure.
I'm kind of guessing that's what might be the case.
Yeah, I think first things first, key. Then first thing first for me would probably just get that distributor swapped out and see how she runs. If it's tired or there's other issues, I mean, you said it ran good, so I mean, if we get it running, it probably just leave it that way for a while. But I got wheels. I, you know, lower it all the way around, get it sitting nice. Do something with the paint. And we'll get her jazzed up. That'd be cool.
There's the title. I don't know if I need anything on it or.
Is it in your name or still in Grandpa's?
It's in mine.
Okay. I get her done and dialed in and driving. We'll
bring it by,
there,
man.
You know?
I would love to see progress. There's a pen. Take it.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Well, that was uneventful. Could not find the key, so we could not unlock the steering and or get the vehicle out of park. Which, I didn't bring any tools or anything. I know you can break the ignition and do all that, and I've done that in the past, and it sometimes creates a lot more problems than it's worth. So, he's gonna look overnight. He swears to God he knows where the keys are. He just, you know, that he has the keys. He just has to find them. It's been 8 months since he drove it. And I'm gonna double check with Chevy that if off the VIN number I can get a key. And or a locksmith. And or get my drill and a drill bit and drill that puppy out, and that might be the best way, but neither one of us had any tools to do that today. The only other option was hammering a screwdriver in there and breaking it, and I'm not doing that. I've wrecked one column doing that when I was younger, and not gonna do it. So, uneventful today, but there is another day. And he said after all the hassle of me hanging out and waiting and everything, he's glad it's going to me. So, and I said, hey, stuff happens, you know. He had the title, he had everything else. He says, I can't believe it. The key's the one thing I didn't think was going to be a problem to find. I thought I knew where the title was, and it was right where I thought it was, but that sometimes is more of a problem, not a key. So we'll come back to this. It's going to have to happen on yet another day. So We're just out some fuel and time today, no biggie. All right, by the magic of editing, it'll be that next day we come here this way, so talk to you then, see you then. All right, guys, let's try this again. It's been a whole week. Had to order a new lock cylinder. Gentleman, Dan, couldn't find the keys, and I found on Amazon a cheap lock cylinder. Although this is free, which is a good deal. The whole point of this exercise is, let's see how cheap we can keep this build. So we're taking off, gonna head over that way, and gonna have to pull steering column apart and change the lock cylinder. I haven't done that in 20 something 30 years. So this would be like a newbie doing it again. YouTube's amazing. I watched 2 videos and I'm like, aha. So I had to buy a special tool. We're heading back over. We're gonna get that lock cylinder changed. We're going to get it pushed out of the driveway and lined up and loaded on the ramp truck and take it home, and then we'll go over the truck with a fine-tooth comb. We're gonna leave it on the ramp truck for a while, so we'll go over it on the ramp truck, and yeah, that'll be our new project. We'll have to come up with a name for it. Gramps? Should we call it Gramps, since it's his grandpa's old truck? We'll see. We'll see what sticks. All right, let me get this old ramp truck started, and hopefully I don't have to jump this. We put that new battery in at Walmart. Didn't change a thing, so I don't know if my timing, I think I talked about this earlier, it's been a week, so bear with me. Maybe the timing's off on this thing. I know I reset it when I got it at one point. Maybe I need to change it up a little bit, because she sure starts hard for no reason. Either that or the cables are corroded, and maybe I need new cables because we're not getting power from the battery to the starter, or maybe the starter is weak and I need a new starter. That could very well be too. I've never had one go weak. Usually they just go bad. This one with the extra juice kicks just fine. So I'm thinking out loud, guys. This is the process I go through. Maybe I take all the cables off, clean the ends on both sides, and see what happens. I can test them. I don't know what the number is for testing from one end to the other, but big thick cable like that I wouldn't think would be a problem in the middle. Still covered, but who knows? Maybe we just put new battery cables on it. But let's see what happens. Well, that started better. Okay, enough babbling. Let's get out of here.
1 hour later.
All right, guys, we made it. I'm gonna set you right there so you can watch this. Retaining clip in there. And I made the mistake. I'm thinking that was 3/4. I'm thinking that's 15/16 maybe. I didn't bring one, but Dan, the owner of the truck, has got one, he thinks. So I'll start with the rest of this stuff. I went online and nobody says what size anything is, so we're going to try to be a little more diligent. Horn button comes out. As you can see, there's a little deal on there, a little leg, a little notch. You push in and turn, and then this slides right out. Had to stop and pick up one of these. I've needed one of these a couple of times. If you order it online at Advanced, it's only 13 bucks, $14.99, but you get 15% off. A lot of their stuff through their app you get discounts that you don't get if you walk into the store. So you can order it on the app and then pick it up at the store. Find one? That should be the huckle. That's the huckleberry. Hey, success. 13/16. Crazy.
We're learning shit here.
Yeah.
Or at least I am.
Sometimes. Well, let me leave that on a couple of threads. We'll try it the old gorilla way first. Nope. About to pull it with. Everything but a 13/16. Should be those. You know, universal my ass. They're always universal and they're always a hair off. You know, when they say, working on cars, I love it because it's calming.
Oh, I've been pretty pissed.
Yeah, right? I always say we're the definition of, you know, they say the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over and expecting a different result. You know? But, that's like us with cars. Oh, I expect this to go under and everything to go smoothly and everything to work out like it's supposed to. Every time. And it never does.
It's always one of those things I've had happen to me, so
yeah, just that little extra bit. Supposed to be a 5/16 bolt, and they put a frickin' Torx bit in there. She's sticky, but
looky there.
looky. The timing's impeccable. It's just unbelievable. Here's the other fun part. Getting them out of gear when they're at an angle. There we go.
Sounds helpful.
Oh. Guys, we got her on the back, and then we'll get her back to the shop and figure out our next step. Walk around her and show you what we got. Beautiful day in Florida. All right, see you in a minute. All right, guys, made it home without incident. Not bad. I'm gonna give you a quick walk around out here. And we're gonna leave it on the truck today. We'll find the right spot to park it. Really get a look at this. I gotta pick up some vinegar. Vinegar, you say? For what, you say? This is the beginning of lichen, algae. And I know if you power wash your deck or a fence that has that, and you add vinegar, it comes right off. So we're gonna try that on this. And it's funny, at this angle, you're gonna get a better look at this vehicle, because I'm getting a better look at it. It's really good bones, this puppy's got, but it really needs some TLC, some love and care. So we'll point out what we know and what I see as I'm walking around it. One thing I did notice now that it's up that I didn't notice when it was down is this bumper has been pushed in on that side, so it bumped into something, did its job, but it's closer on that side, and you can see the bump there, and it's pretty level here, and on the other side it folds down. So you can also see under the headlight there, the bigger gap versus here. So all that area over there must have got a little wackadoodled. Not bad though. One thing I noticed, I don't think there's a door ding in this thing. We got a little rust in the bottom of the fender here. Might be easy fix. Might be able to find a used one of these. If I decide to paint this, I'll find a used one for 40 bucks and we'll replace it, but I might just be able to patch that. A lot of surface rust. Black out the wheel wells. There's original paint color, burgundy. These are things I'd like to do on the list. Not necessarily going to do. Budget, budget, budget. But we'll wire wheel that stuff and then use some black implement paint, because black implement paint's cheap. Just a lot of surface rust, guys. But this is how you pick up a project cheap. This was, as the beginning of the video said, free 99, and that's free 99. It's got hand-cooked tires on it, dry rotted to death, plenty of tread, but there's a lot of sidewall cracking. A little bit of rust here and on the other side. That I knew about. I think we're gonna take all of these off. This side's not so bad. The other side's a little, ugh. Oh, got a little dent there. I'd like to do away with this and put a roll pan on it. I'd like to get the factory taillights. I hate these things. I've never liked them. They just look like cheap dime store things. But we'll see. Again, if I can find them cheap enough. But see, on this side, these ain't that good. And they painted the vehicle with them on. And then there's a bunch of loose paint there. Might even had some body work done here. Didn't notice that before. See how that cleans up? How chalky it is? A good wash and this thing will be money. It's got good exhaust on it. The exhaust pipes don't look bad. These rims aren't even that bad. These would clean up, but I've got brand new tires on a different set of aluminum S10 wheels. Could glue that again, maybe. But I just don't like the fact that it's just really crappy on this side. I think we can pick these up cheap. We'll see. Otherwise, I'll sand these and paint them black. There's that little bubble on this side. I think they're $15 or $19 through LMC truck per cab corner. May or may not do that. You can see it was a cheap paint job. Lots of runs. I'd like to get rid of the mirrors and do a sport mirror. This fender's in really good shape. Yeah. Got the bed all cleaned out. You saw that. This is pretty dry rotted, but I think it'll clean up all right. Still works. That roof has got a lot of that rough, textured moss growing on it. But that door panel's, you know, I mean, you can't ask for more. I can repaint these. I may or may not. We'll see how much time and effort we put into this. But I mean, she's decent. And under here is, from what I saw, was no cracks. I'm not going to mess with it right now. Needs a headliner. May or may not deal with that ourselves. May let the next guy. But first and foremost on this, guys, is getting it running. I'm not going to waste a dime on nothing if it runs like ass. Because then we'll really have to decide what we're going to do. If we're going to LS swap it, put the money towards that. Yeah. That carpet's only a couple years old, he said. So, but yeah, if we LS swap it, we're going to need to save some money for that. Wasps everywhere. Run away, run away. Yeepers. Wasps everywhere when I pop that hood. I'll have to get some brake clean out here and give them a dosing. One flew out last week, but one, and we had it open for a while. Didn't see any more. Okay, so are they done flying around being a nuisance? Nope. We're gonna have to find where that's at. I'll leave that out here for a little bit. We'll come back in a minute. I didn't see a wasp nest in there. I did see one in here. I don't know if them puppies are dead. We're gonna get them out next.
A few moments later.
For those of you that don't know, brake clean is an expensive way to kill wasps. I don't recommend it because it ain't cheap, but it's all I got. And hopefully, I don't see any flying around there, but alright. They won't come back, even if they don't die, but they will die. See? a big fan of doing that, but you got to evict them somehow. And I have no idea. I've been under this hood once before, and that one wasp flew out, but there wasn't any others. Oh shit. Just seen him. Hide, run away, run away. Sure is a small nest though, like 1 or 2, 3 wasps. And I did say that he owned this for about 2 years, and I was wrong. His plates last plated in 21. Officially evicted. So hopefully I don't get stung now while they come back looking for their home. Hopefully I got them all. I know 1 or 2 got away. So he put a battery in when he last registered it, and he set a few sensors, belt, everything's there, it's good. Tested that. He did a starter in it, and I don't know how well you can see that distributor back there, but it is ungodly rusty and crusty. So I'm gonna take a better look at it. If I don't have to pull it, might just be able to clean it up. I know what he's looking at. I might be able to, actually I'm gonna do it right now. Sometimes all you gotta do is blow a little rust out of it, because it's not a point system, it's a magnetic pickup, and the metal part that the magnet goes around that tells it when to fire gets rusty. And that one, as bad as it looks, I've seen worse. So I may just get a new cap and rotor for this bad boy, or use the one off that other, put the wires back on just to see what we're working with. But there you have it, guys. That's your update on Gramps. We might just call it Gramps. I don't know if that's savable or not, but I mean, if we get all this moss that's eaten into it off, there might be good paint under there. So I'm gonna do the vinegar trick first. We'll go to the dollar store and get some cheap vinegar. And I better grab the keys. We don't want to run into that. There's the old cap. And I don't know if you can see this or not. Them points are stinking, rotted, corroded, crusty, nasty, blah, in there. I'm gonna have to pull those anyways to get keys made. I'm gonna look to see what it costs to buy them, because they're usually not that bad to get to. And these are usually, and when I say usually, I'm saying pre-inflation times. Stuff wasn't too bad. When we come back tomorrow, let's see what we can do to bring that old girl back around.
The next day.
All right, good morning, guys. Another day. A little change of plan here. I was gonna wash that S10 today, but I got to thinking, I don't want to wash it on top of the ramp truck. Not properly, at least. I want to park it right there and wash it, because there's my spigot. I want to park it right there and wash it. And that's where it's going to get parked anyways. So I need to, number one, I'm pulling the battery out, and we're going to throw that on a charger. Got her parked back here for now. And number two, as I cleaned that thing yesterday, that distributor, and I have no problem putting a different distributor in here. I really don't. But as I looked at that distributor that was in here, I'm gonna double check something. That shaft ain't wore out on the distributor, if it ain't all wobbly and shit. Then that distributor shaft isn't all worn out. Might be worth spending just 17 bucks to get a cap and rotor and see what's happening. You can always use that distributor I got with it for something else. It's less work. He said it ran and drove. There's no play in that at all, that shaft. So I'm thinking, again, if you can see in there or not, I'm thinking, and it cleaned up pretty good. Those are all electronic, so that little bit of rust shouldn't have been an issue. I could pull the cap and rotor off the new distributor we got, and then I got a distributor without a cap and rotor. I don't know, maybe I'll just do that. We'll see. I don't know how much different those aftermarket performance distributors are versus the stock ones. So it might just be worth the 17 bucks. Weird. I'm looking at this. I don't even know what that is. Somebody just stick that in there and forgot to pull it out. Is there a reason for that? Never seen that before. Okay, let me just take a better look here. Anything I'm seeing is oddball. And he's got this here. I don't know what that's for. See, that looks like that thing. I don't know. See the factory red paint. Must have had a smog pump on it or something. That's no longer there. Whatever was there. I gotta get that off. I don't have it in there very tight. Before I do all that, I should probably grab a meter. Just see what the voltage is on it. If he unhooked it, it should be fine. 8 months of sitting, sometimes they'll drain, but I'll grab a volt and a couple of sockets, see if we can get that off. If it's volt's dead, come back for that. I'm thinking if I can get this thing to fire up right here on the truck, I'll pull it off and drive it up over there and park it. Then we'll clean it and detail it. I'm looking forward to cleaning this up, actually. I'm excited to hear it run. Are you guys excited to hear it run? This is why I like hot rodding, you know? It's all about taking something that's been sitting and neglected, and he was a week away from just sending it to the scrap yard. Because people offered him money for it and then never showed up. Sight unseen, just talking to people, and they're like, I'd give you 500 bucks for that, just showing them a quick picture, and then they never showed up for it. And he's like, I'm done. He was ready to get rid of it. You know, that's why I was giving it away free. Free, you come get it, I don't have to deal with it. But he also, good guy, he's like, I could call the scrapyard and I'd probably get somebody to come get it, or maybe even get a little bit of money for it. But he said he's not a big car guy, but he looked at it and said, hey, you know, it's got good enough bones. I'd hate to see it go to the crusher. And that's the kind of people I like dealing with. It's my kind of people, because I'm the same way. If we can give it a second, third life, by getting it back running, make it kind of cool, make it respectable, somebody will enjoy having it. I am going to spend the money on a cap and rotor. I'm going to look on Amazon real quick. I know I can get it locally. I just got to drive. It's not the closest AutoZone that has it. $17.99 for cap and rotor. I don't know if I can get it much cheaper online. Let me go look. If it's a lot cheaper, I'll order it and wait.
A few moments later.
All right, nothing on Amazon, less than 20 bucks. Get a whole distributor for 40. I didn't see this Dragon Slayer or Dragon Fire. Maybe I'm remembering the name wrong of the distributor that the guy gave me with this. I'm gonna have to look. It's in the back seat of the ramp truck. I gotta get it out anyways. We'll take a look and see if the cap and rotor for that is the same. And if it's the same, then I'm just gonna pop that on. I don't have to go nowhere. It doesn't cost me nothing. I'll look and see what the value of this thing is first. Dragonfire high performance. I don't know what that means. Let me see what that part number looks like. But it's pretty nice looking billet. Probably wouldn't hurt to put that all in, just because it's got the new ignition module. And the cap looks the same. Let's look that up real quick. Where the hell did he buy this thing? He must have bought this a while ago. It's not even available. Not even on their own website. First things first, let's see if this battery needs to be pulled out and charged, or if we can hook it up as she sits. So that's the first thing. We want it able to drive on its own power, because having something that don't drive under its own power around here sucks. So let's see if just unplugging it was enough to keep the juices flowing. Nine and a half volts. Now that I'm looking at that big honking thing, those are usually smaller than that. That's probably a 9/16. Better be half. That sucker's huge. They're never that big on these. There I go assuming. Assuming don't do nothing for nobody. I'm gonna check if you, I don't know. That's like a ignition power. I got that. Said he put this new coil in. Oh yeah, I can see a newer coil under there, and there's that coil line. He's got the plug wires. Oh, I marked them. Very nice. They look newer. They don't, well, that coil one does. I don't see ignition coil down there. So that distributor might not be the right one. Yeah, this just has this single plug coming out of it. Where does that go? It's just got that single plug right there coming out of the magnetic ring. I don't see an actual, I'm gonna have to do a little research, because that distributor that we got has an internal ignition module, and I think that's what this is. And if that's the case, well, that could be this. That looks like the one that goes into part of our distributor. Or did he maybe take apart and remove the distributor? Because it looks like it's got the holes for it. But where's the other plug? There should be like a 3-prong plug somewhere down in here. Feel something here. There's the, okay, there's our 3-prong plug. That is down there, and then that's the 2-prong from the coil. So yeah, we're gonna have to do either a distributor swap or put the ignition coil from the, and see, I gotta do a little research. That's what we're gonna be doing. Yep, there they are, the screws for the ignition module out of the distributor. He said he changed a few things, and maybe that was one thing he was intending to change, and then realized just get the distributor was cheaper than buying all the pieces. All right, we're gonna do a little research. This is where the fun begins, right, guys? Research what needs to set the, just a lot of weird stuff in there. Sorry, I'm stuttering a bunch. I'm thinking about 20 different things while I'm looking at this and seeing things. I am not a walking encyclopedia of car knowledge, nor am I an expert on anything. Nor do I claim to be. I'm gonna grab this so I can do a little research. I shouldn't have to do much. To quote a famous movie line, what I do have is a unique set of skills that make vehicles like this very afraid of me. I'm able to understand, look up information, understand what I'm doing. And if there isn't enough information, YouTube's a wonderful source. And I'll say this, I've said it before, if you haven't watched my videos, I'll say it again. Don't just watch one video and go, oh, that's how you do it. Because there are many a good mechanic giving information on YouTube. There's just as many idiots giving bad information they think is right. Or people that do it the hard and long way, and sometimes the destructive way, by tearing stuff apart that doesn't need to get tore apart while you're trying to fix something. Your best bet on YouTube is if there's 10 videos, watch 10 videos. And if you've got common sense, a little bit of mechanical sense, 7 of those guys will be doing it exactly the same. 3 of those guys will be doing it, you'll be like, okay, that gets it done, but huh? Sometimes those guys have a hint or a trick to do it, and that's good too. Just have the common sense to know you don't destroy stuff to get stuff fixed. Feel free to use me as one of those people that falls in the middle somewhere. I get things done. I don't always tear things up to do it. I've got tricks. I've got tricks to go around and get things done. I've got beef sticks in my shop fridge. So when I'm hungry and starting to get the shakes, I got water in my fridge. I also have flavors for my water when I'm feeling like not drinking boring water. All right, I'm in my little hole where I do my research. I'll be back.